everybody, welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name's Nicole and this is Darvanalee Designs Studio, and today we're here for another episode 6 of Finish It Friday QuiltTube. So let's get started. Good morning or good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while we talk a little bit about the quilts that I have finished. Alright, I do not have the quilts here in front of me. You will see what they look like at the end of this video, and the reason being is because they're big. Okay, they're not going to finish on film very well at sitting down here and all the rest of it. But I would like to have, and you'll probably hear some of this a little bit of this commentary through the video as well, because I actually do talk a little bit through it and just let you know what I've been doing and all that sort of stuff. So I managed to get several things sorted this week. I worked a little bit on the live stream, which you've probably already seen. If you haven't, that replay is there. And I worked on the heart quilt that I've been making. And I also worked on the 2021 row by row. There was a little bit of a panic at the beginning of that, because I thought that I had misplaced one of the rows. I thought that they were made. I actually thought that they were made. And then when I was going through all the stuff, I realized that one row was actually missing, the second last row. Now, I know that I had made the block and I had cut everything out because that's what I did. That was my system, and I made a block on camera and I filmed that. So there was a block there that was available. Now, this row by row is not public on the channel anymore, because it was just a one-off thing, and then it's been it was offered free for a certain period for that time that we made it, and then it became unlisted. And so basically I am just in the process of writing up all the cutting instructions and all that sort of stuff, getting photos for it and whatnot, and putting that into a pattern, and then you'll be able to purchase that from our Patreon shop. So basically and that's what happened. And I also have another row by row that I'm going to pull down off the shelf and possibly get some stuff done on that. It's going to take me a little bit longer, so that'll be just a work in progress for a little while, because I have a row of English paper piecing that I need to do. So I have done one of those rows, and there are videos for all of this stuff to go with it and whatnot. But anyway, I managed to get that finally finished, but as I will tell you throughout the video as well, I could not find that block for one, and I could not find all the pieces. And around the same time, we were actually renovating out here as well. So I think what's happened, when the girls have helped me move stuff, that they've automatically thought it was rubbish and chucked it in the bin, because I had my little bin there and I had it sitting behind all my cutting stuff, but it would have just looked like a pile of rubble because it was all sitting in a pile. So I called it and I went, you know what, I need to try and sort all this out with the scraps that I have, and I managed to do that. So I've managed to get the quilt finished. It does it, the blocks don't actually match the video, but that's the reason why. So if you end up doing this, you'll end up finding out about that. And as I said, I'm compiling all the pattern pieces together, putting all the links to the videos and to the playlist in it, like, because each individual pattern piece had the individual video to it. I've now created a playlist for it and all that sort of stuff, and it will be available for purchase over in our Patreon shop. So you keep an eye. I'll do a notice on the community board and all that sort of stuff, but you can head over to the Patreon and check out our Patreon over there and all the things that we offer. And you can become a free member, but there's nothing happening with the free members except for when a pattern gets released. So you can find that out, and then you can get hold of that pattern there. Preferably, I would love you to become a Patreon, because you get so much more. You get bag tutorials and all that sort of stuff over there. We have early access to all these videos. We get some behind the scenes stuff, and yeah, there's lots of little different things that happen over there. We've got like extra live streams and all that sort of stuff for the silver tier and above. Yeah, all the things, you know, that go with a Patreon, a little bit extra stuff for you. But I also, as I said, I also have been working on the heart quilt, and I finally got that together as well. So there's a little bit of a snippet. There's no real footage of that. It's just just mainly the row by row, but there's little snippets at the end of what I'm doing in the future, because it's not completely finished yet. So what I'll be doing in the future with all of that. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into this week's vlog and time lapse and all the things, and I will chit chat with you at the end of the video. Hey everybody, and welcome back. All right, so just getting myself ready. I have some cutting I've got to do today. I also have, let me just move that out of the way a bit. I also have lost a block. So I know that I've made this block and I cannot find it anywhere. I have looked high and low, and I'm thinking, because we were in the middle of doing renovations when I was doing this project, and I'll insert a picture here of the project that I'm talking about. It's the row by row, and this is what it looks like. So I have one row here that has to be added on, but there is a row in between. I was talking to my friend Michelle the other day, and we're working out the timeline and all the rest of it, because, you know, with everything that I do on YouTube and all the rest of it, times are just blown away. So basically I went through everything. I had lost the panel. I think I said this in the last one. I had misplaced it. Well, I hadn't lost it. I misplaced the panel, and I've misplaced this block as well. Now, if I remember correctly, I was actually not feeling well when I done this, and I think this was one of two rows that I only did one block. So I've only misplaced one block. I have no idea where it is. And I pulled out this project, and so I have all these bits and pieces, but I also noticed that there's some of these are cut. So I'm wondering if I actually did cut them all. Now, the one that I'm talking about has a little 9 patch in it. So I'm going to press all those to see what I've got. I'm going to get my iPad and pull up the pattern. And basically then I'm going to endeavor to get those blocks done. So I'm going to spend a little time with you doing that, and then of course you'll find out what the quilt looks like once I finish, whether I've got it done or not. So let me just show you the quilt that I'm talking about. I'll just open this up. So this is the row that I have done. So I have to make 6 blocks, and so I'm just going to cut up all the fabric that I've got and make the 6 blocks. So you can see here, this is a row completely done. And if I remember correctly, as I said, I don't think I was feeling the best when I was doing the last couple of rows, last 3 rows. Now I've got everything else on the quilt. So let me just get rid of this container. And I'll get rid of that as well, because that'll end up going on the floor anyway and picking up all of the fluff. So it was just checking the camera angle there. So I done the finishing. I just didn't put the last row on because I don't have the camera high enough to get all the stuff in. So I just sort of showed what everybody to do. And then we did, this was the first one we did, and then we did the Autumn Splendor one. And I didn't show how to finish it because I had the exact same finish as this one. So as you can see, I've got the rows and I've got the borders on. And there is enough fabric here, if I remember correctly, all the way down the side of the quilt. So I've got enough there, and I'm pretty sure in here, let me just tip all this out, I am pretty sure that I still have enough. Yes, I do. I still have this here, like I can use all this. There's a strip there. So I'm guessing that everything is cut, and there's the strips for the bottom, so I can set them aside. And of course I've still got enough green fabric here. There's the 2 strips done. I'm going to give everything a really good press. So I've got enough there to sort all that out. So I'll set that aside. I think that's part of the border as well, so I'll set that one aside. And then I've got all this fabric left here to do what I need to do for the 9 patches and that. So you can see here, these are all leftover fabrics. So I'm going to endeavor to give everything a press, because this has been sitting for so long. And see, I've got these pieces, a lot of these little pieces are cut. So I'm thinking that I have actually cut a lot of it out. These are bits and pieces left over. See, there's that as well from a block. So I think I'm going to be okay. I think I will be able to get everything done. And this is all the fabric that I have left out of it. So I've gone through all the things, and that's it. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be able to get a fair chunk of stuff out. I will just have to play around with it. All right, so we know that we've got enough of the the fabric left to do the borders, and as you can see, I will take this outside. Not today though, it is a heavy dew today, and but as soon as I'm finished it. So I'm planning over the next couple of days to get those blocks done and then to get those rows on. So it's only got to get 2 more rows on. 1 row is already done, so I've just got my last one to do. It's just a shame that I've misplaced it, and I've just got a sneaking suspicion that it may have got caught up with some rubbish, because we did a big clean out here, and it's not hot. It's likely that's what's happened. It's the only thing I can think of, because it's not where I keep all of my stuff. So yeah, like I actually was looking for the panel which came in, because this was a fat quarter pack. Don't ask me the name of it. I cannot remember the name of it. I think I may have put that into the pattern when I was doing it together. So I'll have a look, and if I find out before the end of this video, I'll let you know, or at the end of it. So I got all of this row is on, so I'm happy with that. It looks really good. All the friendship rows on, everything else is on. And as I said, I've got the borders pretty much on down to the flying geese. I just sort of stopped it there because that's all I could fit on camera. So yeah, that's the pitfalls of doing this sort of stuff. But you can see here, and we had pictures and everything, so you could see what was going on. So you can see here that it looks good. I think it looks fabulous, and I can't wait to actually quilt this up. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I think I'm going to do some straight line quilting with this one, because it sort of lends itself to that. So that's what I think I'm going to do. It needs a good press because it's been folded up for so long, and I just love it. Absolutely love it. So I love the colours. I'm a bit of an autumn girl. Love the little trucks on it and all that sort of stuff. I've got to do, like, I've got enough there to go down. I should have enough fabric there to go down both sides and across the bottom. I'll be cutting it fine, but I should be fine. I should be okay on that. I'm a little bit scared, but as I said, I do have all this fabric here, which I'm not going to press now. I'm not even going to use this one because I may need to add to it. But if I worked my calculations out right, so you can see there's a couple of like fat quarters still left if I need to add. There's strips here. That's how wide the green border is. So there's a couple of strips there. And then there's that left over there, so that should be right. And then, as I said, I've got these 2 strips here, which I'm pretty sure are for the bottom. I might have to just cut some more for the side. Put that there. And so I'm going to set that aside so I don't actually cut that up. All right, now, remember I was saying that I thought I had lost the panel. Well, I found it in my journeys last night. So I've got all these fabrics left out of the... I'm pretty sure that's a fat quarter too that hasn't been cut yet. So these were all the ones left out. I chose not to use the grey in it. So these are all left out of the fat quarter pack. So what I thought I might do is a quilt with this in the centre. So you can see there that, let me just lay that out. Sorry about it being crushed, but I thought that I could have this in the centre and then put blocks around it. So I thought I might do a disappearing 9 patch or something. Maybe add some, you know, if I've got heaps of this fabric, I can maybe add some of this fabric into the back. But for the most part, I could probably use that as a bit of a contrast along with that one, or even those 2 there, and then have the rest around it. I'm just thinking at the moment, I'm definitely going to make a quilt by itself. It's not going to be for the back or anything like I've been doing with the heart quilt. So yeah, I thought that would be a nice little something or other to make, and we'll see how we go. So that is going to be a little project of its own. So I'm just going to put this in here, and then I will, after this quilt's done, this will replace the quilt. So it'll be another one to do. I'm on a roll. I'm getting stuff done. I'm pretty happy with the stuff I'm getting done. So yeah, so we've got that there. And of course I will like get another little baggie and put, because I'll add some of this fabric in as well, because I've got tons of this fabric, so I can add it in. There'll be a whole season of quilts that have that fabric in it. So I'll pop that over there out of the way. Let's grab the iron, shall we? I just got to get rid of some private information. Just bear with me for a second. I was doing some paperwork before. Get that out of the way so no one sees it. Yeah, so we're going to get, because I figured I could use this as well in the other quilt, because it'll just pop in it, so I can use some of the white if I don't end up using any of these colors. But we'll see what we end up with when we've finished it, because we might be able to utilize all of our scraps. I'm just getting these blocks out of the way and give this a bit of a press, and then that way we can cut from it. And so yeah, let me just set that out of the way. So as you can see, I've got little squares and bits and pieces left over, so I should be able to make up a heap of stuff out of this, because the 9 patches are little squares. So that and it's possible that I may have just done one and then decided to wait because I wasn't sure how much fabric I was going to have left over. But I can make it super scrappy if I need to, so I'm not overly concerned about that. So yeah, like there's this little bit here, and it doesn't matter if they're I did have my scissors here somewhere before. They're underneath there. There we go. Get rid of some of the little scraggly bits, so we don't need those. A triangle we're not going to use. But I'm just wondering, because see, there's the beginning of a 9 patch, so I'm wondering if I actually started doing it and then I've just picked it up in all the commotion and yeah, and just put it in this bag. But we'll get all the bits and pieces ironed and then we'll see where we are after that. Alright, so I have my iPad now. If it all worked last night, I should have been able to download this to my Kindle once I find where it's at. Yes, it is. There we go. Final assembly.
So you can do this too. You can download PDFs to your Kindle. This is not an iPad or anything. This is just a regular everyday device. And you can see there that I've got all of the information I need on there. So you can actually do this as well. I'm still going through the pattern and making sure that it is available and all that sort of stuff. So you'll be able to purchase that, and each block comes with its own video. The quilt size will be 75 inches by 105 inches for the final assembly. And let me just bring up that brightness just a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Hopefully you're not getting too much reflection. As I said, I will leave a the picture for it. It's not very clear, so but that is what the quilt will look like. Okay, so I am doing this row down here. Okay, so as you can see during the cutting as I was, oh look, I've got one here, hang on a sec. As I was, I've just got my iron off to the side now. As I was going through all that pile, you would have noticed that I found some like little bits and pieces that were joined together. And from what I can see, these aren't part of it. So I can safely put these away. I think these were actually part of row 3, which is the zigzag. Okay, let me just show you that again. Let me just get my pop socket so it's easier to hold. I've just got plugged in because it was flat. So this row here is what these are from. So these were leftover ones, and all that row is on there. So the row that I'm doing is this row here. So this is the block. Okay, so I seen that I had some white squares there, so they're already cut, and you can see here that I have some of these components already cut as well. So what I need to work on is this centerpiece, so I don't need these bits. These must have been leftover bits from when I was constructing the other ones, so I can set them aside. We'll get them out of the way, and then I just need to find a color to go in the center. Now I'm thinking that I might have to do, instead of doing strip sets, I might just have to do that's an interesting one. I might, or was I maybe doing, because these here, maybe this is what I was doing, because let me have a look. So that is red, green and white. That would be that strip set there. And then this one's red and white though. Interesting. I'll have to have a little bit of a look, because this I could, no, that set, that is definitely that outside set. All right, so that's that one. And then I've got these red and white ones. So I've just got to add a green into the middle of this. And then I've also got to do a yellow and green one. Okay, so that is as far as it's going to go up. So that is the block there that I'm making, this little section here. All right, well, this row is already done. Okay. So we should, hopefully you can have seen all that, because I don't know, because I can't see the front of the camera because I'm using my phone. So I should be able to get it out of this. So I need to choose a green, and I think I'm going to go with this leaf green that I pressed, and I've got enough yellow there to incorporate in if I need to. So yeah, I might just actually do the yellow leaf and the green leaf pattern, because there is also the leaf in this, so I can always take that green, I guess. I don't know. No, they're definitely the outsides, and that's going to work. Yep. Sorry, I'm just taking you through the process because it's been a long time since I looked at this. So let me just sit this off to the side. I'm going to find the cutting instructions for it. All the blocks are here. There it is. Block 8 is what we're looking at. So you can see there's the individual block just there. Okay, so you can see that a bit clearer now. And of course, I'll try and get in closer during the editing process. I don't know why I'm telling you that, because you're not even going to know. So yeah, so that's what it looks like. Okay, this is called 9 Trails. All right, and we've got all our cutting instructions. So that's what your pattern will look like. When you get, I've just got to do the final proofread, make sure that everything is right in there, and there are no mistakes. And of course, each one actually has the link there to take you to YouTube, and yeah, there's a playlist there, and you'll be good to go. I don't think it'll go out No, it won't go out while you're in Kindle. So we have all the instructions there. So, and then we've got our final row. And the reason there's a picture there of how it looks is because there's different blocks. See how we've got the different colored diamonds in there? And you'll see that in just a moment. So you can see there, that's what the block looked like for the final row. All right. So anyway, let's have a look at what we've got to cut here. All right. Let me grab the yellow and green because I know that that's what I've got to cut. I'm going to leave these together over here and leave them just there because I know I need those. And all these bits and pieces here, I'm pretty sure I can move into a pile and get them out of the way. So, I mean, I could make the individual blocks out of these, but I think I'll just do strip sets because it's just a little bit easier and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to go through the tutorial with you today. I'm just going to get what I can get done. Let me just move all this out of the way, and then that way I can, yeah. Good. All right, so it needs to be, how many blocks do I have to cut? It's been a while. Let me just bring up this row. It's been an absolute hot minute since I've touched any of this. I think it's 6 we had to do. Yes, it was 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we can put this one aside because that is all done, ready to go. And that's out of the way. They can go there. They can go there. Now I've got all these I've got these fat quarters left. So actually there's quite a bit of that there. How much is left of this one? Same. Okay. I'm just wondering. I think I might use the letters and leave this for the border because I don't, then otherwise, for the binding rather, because then otherwise I won't have any of the left. So I have 2 fat quarters here in the, you see me iron those. So there's 2 fat quarters there of this one. Okay. And then there is a almost fat quarter of this one. It's got a couple of bits and pieces out of it. And the same with this one. And then whatever's left out of this, I will incorporate. And then all the other leftovers that I had, I will try and get some 2.5 inch strips out of that. And I'm going to use that for the binding. Okay, so I am going to basically just cut up all of this into 2.5 inch strips. However long they are, they're going to go together. And then I'm going to make the binding out of that. So we can utilize every scrap of fabric in this one. And then I might have some stuff left, maybe to do a couple of, maybe a 9 patch block with some plain white blocks in it to make a throw cushion or something like that. We'll see how we go, because I still have the borders left and there might be fabric from that as well, so I might be able to make something a little bit bigger. All right, so let me just have a look here. All right, so it's teal and yellow and red and white that I need for this. Now I did have, where did I just put them? I had red and white strips. What did I do with them? I just had them. So they're the green ones. There they are. Then I've got these red and white ones. All right, so I think these are the 1 7/8. So let me grab my ruler. I feel like I'm all over the shop for you guys today, but it is hard when you come back to something. So I've got I have 3 strips here. And I'll just measure to make sure that they're 1 7/8. Okay, the white, I've got those. That's all good. Yeah, they have to be 1 7/8. All right, so let's have a look at that. Let's see if they are or not. Okay, so basically I've had to pause for a bit there, and I got all this cut out because my neighbours were having their music playing really, really loud. So I could not, as I said to you, I could not find the blocks that I had done or the stuff that I had cut out. Now I definitely had cut them out because when I went and looked at the video, I definitely had cut them out. So I had to change it up a little bit. I have cut out enough now for 6 blocks. So I'm going to get that together I'm going to do a lot of chain piecing in this one. So I'm just sort of putting, you'll see that I'll just put these out how they need to be in the piles and all that sort of stuff. And I'm just going to get stuck into chain piecing. So I'll add a little bit of music to this and you can see what I'm doing and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's a shame that I have misplaced it. Like I pulled the whole since I was filming this morning and then they started up their music. While they were doing that, I went through the entire every box in every drawer, every cupboard and everything in here, because most things are all packed together, and that, so I just don't understand what has happened, whether it's been picked up by accident and thrown out with a heap of scraps, which is probably my thinking behind it. It was probably sitting at the back here next to this, and you know, when the girls have been helping me or whatever the case may be, they're thinking it was scraps because it was at the back of the bin. They've just put it in, and that was that. But I can't even find the block, so I don't even know where the block has gone. And this was all together. That's what I don't understand. It was all together. Everything is here. Like, all the fabric is here, the quilt's here, the other row that I've done, and this one has just gone for some reason. But anyway, this is where we're at. I'm doing a little bit of chain piecing right now. As you can see, I am using some different parts for the red one because I just didn't have enough of that fabric. So, but I have cut everything out and we've got everything that we need. So I'm really happy about that. So I'm seizing the opportunity to film this while my neighbours are being quiet for a change. But you know, like for the most part, they're quiet during the week these days. I can't begrudge them for having a little bit of a time on, you know, on the weekends. So that is fine by me. So I can work around that. You know, I can film at night or whatever the case may be for something like this, where essentially I could be putting, you know, a voiceover on it or something along those lines and let you know what I've done. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew each of the components together, and you can see here that I didn't have enough fabric to make it all one fabric like I did originally. So I've just mixed it up. So I've got 3 of this one with the print on it, and then I've got 3 with the flower. It'll tie in with the rest of the quilt because I've used these fabrics in the rest of the quilt, so it's all good. And then I'm just going to alternate them, and that'll make it super easy for me. So I'm just keeping all my things together. So my pairs, so that'll be the next one I'm doing. So yeah, so basically that's where we're at. I'm okay with that because let me just grab it. I'll show you what the big pile of rubble that we had earlier on. I'll show you what I've got it down to. All right, so we worked out that I've got all this stuff left here. That's all going to be used for the binding. So it's going to be like a teal and a yellow. So I'll do cut up all the yellow, cut up all the teal, and put that in there, and then I'll just alternate. I still have some yellow fabric here that I can probably squeeze in, but probably not. But all the scraps, and that's all I've got left. So I've done pretty well. And I found this. It's called Cultivate Kindness by Deb Strain. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. I thought it might have been a Kate Spain, but it's not. It's a Deb Strain. I was close. Not close enough, but yeah, that's what it's called. I don't know whether you'll be able to get it. It's a line of fabric that came out 2021, I want to say. I think I got it mid-year 2021. So yeah, that was the line of fabric. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with getting rid of all that, and I've got enough here. I definitely should have enough here to do the binding on that. So I can get enough 2.5 inch strips out of that to make something. If not, I'll work it out. I'm sure I'll work something out. I can always add some of the grey in from the other fat quarters, which have some of these colours in. Maybe pull the flower one out and actually use it in the section here. So yeah, we'll see how we go. All right, let's get some of these sewn together. I won't film the entire blocks and all that sort of stuff. I'll just start chaining piecing them through, and then when I get a little bit further along, I'll probably pause it, and when we come back, you'll see our finished block. Okay, so basically what I've been chain piecing is to make these components here. So once we've got these together, then they'll get attached to the cornerstones, and then we also have to make some 9 patches as well. So I'm going to continue on doing this. I'm going to break now and have some lunch, but I'm going to continue on doing this, and when I come back I should have 6 blocks done and ready to go. Okay, so we have made the blocks. I didn't end up filming any because my neighbours were basically hitting the rave music pretty hard over the weekend, so I just done it while they were bopping out and all that sort of stuff. But we have attached our 6 blocks together, so you can see them here, and now all I need to do is put them onto the quilt, and you will get to see the finished quilt in the last part of this episode of QuiltTube. So I'm sorry that I couldn't show you how the block went together, and I did use different colors than I originally had, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I alternated between the two, so I've got the like brick pattern here, and then I've got the check on this one, and they both go together, so we've got a little bit of green writing and a little bit of floral there, and yeah, so it's all gone together really nicely. I love how it gives you like a secondary block as well, and it looks like these are off center, and that is intentional because we've got that white one there, so it looks like it's a little bit off center, but they generally sit around the center of the flying geese just here. So I am really happy with how this turned out. I am so glad that I had enough fabric to make the 6 blocks. I have hardly anything left, which you would have seen just previously when I was talking about cutting them. But yeah, I'm really happy how it's all turned out. Now to attach it to the rest of the quilt. And as I said, you will get to see the finished product once I'm finished doing all of that. I mean, you don't really need to see the borders going on and all the rest of it. You already know how borders go on. So I'm going to get the rest of this sorted and give it a good press first before I attach it to the rest of the quilt. And then basically the quilt is done. I'm going to take some photos, and you will get to see that towards the end of the video of what it completely looks like after we've had a bit of a chit chat about it. All right. I'm going to head off now and yeah, get on with the rest of the day and get all of this quilt sorted. There she is, all done. All right, I've been waiting on the weather, but I'm going to go out and take some photos of it. But you can see it looks fabulous. I'm so happy with it. All right, let's head outside and take some footage. All right, so there you go. You can see it all laid out there. It's looking absolutely fabulous. I love the colours. I do love this wiggly one. That is my favourite in this one. And also the zigzag looks really good as well. But that is how big it is. Now I've got to get ready for quilting and all the things that go with it, the binding and all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty sure I've got enough for binding. I guess we'll find out eventually. But yeah, there we go. All right, I'm going to lay out my next one, and yeah. Sorry, I got distracted then because the police slowed right down to see what I was doing. And I'm like, hello. Probably think, what's that weirdo doing? Anyway, I'm absolutely loving it. And I hope that you enjoyed the journey of getting this together and getting another whip off the table. All right, the next whip I'm going to show you is the heart quilt. Okay, so this is what I've done so far in the heart quilt. As you can see, I still have the borders to go on it, but I'm absolutely loving it. It looks good. This is the first chance I've had to really look at it while it's out and laid out nice and flat, and I can see it. I really like how the layouts turned out. For the most part, the hearts aren't clashing or anything like that. I was doing it very random. So as you know, we still have the borders to go. So they're going to be about a 6.5 inch border. I've cut the hearts, but I haven't done them yet. Pretty much just run out of time. So this one I've been working on Thursdays. So I'll probably do a little bit more on the Thursday live stream and get that done. And then I've got all the scraps from this one. So all these angles here are turning into this size pinwheel just over here. So yeah, from memory, I think they're 8.5 inches or 8 inches in size, so they're a decent size, and I'm going to use all those, and then all the little ones from the tops of the hearts I'm going to use for the back of a quilt, like make another quilt and possibly use it as the back of this. So I need to finish this off so I know what size I'm working for, and that'll be a lot of pinwheels. There's a couple of these big hearts. There'll probably be some smaller hearts too, because I do have a little bit of fabric left. I'll see how I go, and if I can make a quilt the same size as this, it'll be reversible. If not, I'll have 2 separate quilts. But either way, I will have used up every little piece of fabric that I possibly can. So all of my scraps from making these hearts will actually end up in another quilt, if not the back of this quilt, because I have 2 hearts left because I was short 2 hearts. Because I had used 2 10-inch squares for another project, which was my ice cream pint cozy, and I used a purple and a green one, which you'll see them at another time in the other quilt, and they're the same size as this one. But as I said, I do have some scraps left over from the little hearts that I'm going to be making for the borders. So then another little heart will just go here on the corner and act as a cornerstone, and then there's going to be one in the middle of the quilt on either side. Okay, so we'll have a little heart, and that'll just finish it off. I'm not overly fussed if I don't get a quilt for the backing. That is the plan, but I'm not too stressed, and that's all going to be stripped. So all the different, because it's just going to be randomized where the confetti, I'm calling it a confetti quilt, so because I'm using leftovers. So yeah, and that's what I'm going to do, but you'll get to see that in future videos. All right, that is the end of this video today. I'd just like to say thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope you've enjoyed the little bit of time lapse in it and all the little bits of information. Don't forget that this will go out, don't forget that we will have live streams every Thursday morning at 9 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to see some of the different quilts that I'm working on that aren't necessarily in a quilt tube, then come on to that and bring your whips with you, and let's get some of these jobs done, shall we? Alright, well I hope that you enjoyed all those bits and pieces of it and whatnot. And I know that I said I was going to say goodbye and like and subscribe all after the heart quilt and all that sort of stuff. But I also forgot after I was saying that I needed to show you what I was going to be working on in the next week. So I've pulled another whip down. This one is the 2018 Designer Mystery Block of the Month. Now this one I didn't get the finishing kit with and all that sort of stuff, and you've seen most of these blocks have been made on live streams last year, but I do have, let me just have a look. So I've got all the blocks done, so I've just got to put them together, and I'll go through them in just a second. I do have to make a couple more of these flowers for the sides of it. Let me just show you. This is not a very good layout, but it'll give you a rough idea. So I need to make 6 of these, so I've got another 5 to make, so I'm going to try and do that this week. So that's sort of what I'm going to work on, is these ones. So this one won't be, I don't think that this is going to be a completed one. Now, I did not get the finishing kit with this, so I'm not 100% sure whether I have enough fabric for the end of it and all the rest of it. But in saying that, I did have a green here, which is this, because I didn't have enough green, because the finishing kit had the green fabric. So I got this off my shelf, and I'm using this fabric here, which it looks okay. Like, it's a little bit darker, but it looks okay. All right. So I'm happy with that. It was supposed to be like a spot, just a plain spot that was supposed to have. So I've got to make 5 of these. I'm going to get them done. And then at the end of it, I will be able to put the quilt together, like the center of the quilt. And you won't be able to see this. So you can see here, this is what the layout looks like. But down the side here, there are some stars. Now, I do not know how many stars I'm going to get out of my fabric, because this is what I have left as far as scrap goes. Okay, so I've got this little pile. So what I figured I would do is I will do as many stars as I can out of this. I also have a lot of this fabric left, so I might be able to get a few out of this. So what I'm going to do is I will start with a cornerstone, and then I'm going to go across this way and go down this way, and maybe get like 5 in each corner. If I can get
20 stars out of this scrap fabric, then I can finish this off. Now, I do have all strips cut and all that sort of stuff for everything, and I'm pretty sure I've also cut the binding and everything, if I remember correctly. I should have really stuck with this and just finished it off, because I am making it up as I go. So I've got the enough fabric for the flowers, which that'll be fine. So I've got to do them first because they complete the rows. So here gives you a better idea of what the quilt's going to look, the center of the quilt's going to look like. Okay, and then there's a border around it, and then that's the first border, and then there's another border which has stars, and I'm pretty sure the stars are the same size as this flower here. So I have figured what I could do is do 5 across, so 1 in the corner, 2 that way, 2 down that way on each corner, and then I can just fill it in with some spotted fabric. So I have cut squares and all that sort of stuff. These still have the little alphabetties on them, so I know what's going on with it. And I'm pretty sure I still have some of this fabric left for the border. But I have to wait and see how much I've got left of this, whether I can get some, because it may just be the words that I use for the stars. And I'm pretty sure the stars, let me just have a look. Let me go back a page, because this should have, so the stars end up being 8.5 inches. Now I have to double check to make sure that I have some more of this fabric to do 8.5 inch strips, because I've got to fill in those strips between the corners of the star, because I definitely will not have enough to do all the stars that I need for the borders all the way around. There's no way I'm going to have enough. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'll try and make as many as I can out of what I have and see if I can't get enough there, because I'm pretty sure that I need, let me have a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 18, and 16. I need 34 stars. I don't think I'm going to get that out of this. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to get that out of this. So all I can do is try. If I've got a heap of stars left over, I'll just keep making stars until I get them. So that is the plan this week. I'm going to make these. I don't know how many I'm going to get done. I've got most of the stuff cut. I've just got to cut the fabrics now. So I'll get most of them done, and then I'll start working on the stars. So this one's going to be a little, this will make an appearance a couple of times. I do have scraps as well, so I might be able to utilize some of these scraps for little throw cushions and all that sort of stuff. You know that I'm a big fan of saving the scraps and using what I can. So I've got a little bit of bunting happening. So I'll be able to make some pinwheels and stuff like that, so I can make little side things to go on the bedside tables and whatnot. And I do have a little bit of cream left, which I need for the flowers. I'm pretty sure I've got enough there for the flowers. So yeah, worst case scenario is I just do the flowers and then I just put a small border around the outside, and then I call it done. And that is all because I bought the Fat Quarter Shop. I bought the Fat Quarter Shop mystery block of the month, but I didn't get the finishing kit. I missed out on the finishing kit, and I didn't realize that I needed it. It was the first time I ever got one. So if you do get a mystery block of the month, may I suggest that you get the finishing kit, because it just means that you're going to have a quilt exactly what you fell in love with, and that's why you purchased it. The other thing that I'm going to start is the 2022 row by row. Again, this is not available anywhere. It's unlisted. This was for my Facebook peeps only a couple of years ago. That will be getting released once it's all finished. As you can see, I have some rows done that I have to sew together. I think majority of them, these have got to go in, but I do have, let me just find it, I've got several things here that need to be finished, and I don't know where they are. I've got tons of fabric. Like, this is, I have pretty much just done the blocks for these, and that's it. All right, let me just have a look now. Yeah, there they are. There's the row. This is a row that I have started, and I don't know where my block is. It's here somewhere. I'm just trying to find it amongst it. So this is the block that I have to do. So I have to do another 5 of these. This has not been stitched down. This has just been, for the ease of the video, I just basically tacked it down and showed you what you needed to do. There's a couple of spots I think that are actually sewn down. But yeah, I've got to make another 5 of these blocks. So that's going to take us some time to do that. And so this will be a work in progress. So I'm going to try and get the fabric cut and all the things that I need wrapped around the paper and put that all down and get that all sorted. And then, yeah, I'll be good to go. But I'm actually going to try and see if I can't get this on a little bit thicker cardboard for it. So I've got other blocks and everything. I just need to assemble it. I've got all the fabric that I need for borders, and I've got scrap fabric here to use and all that sort of stuff. I've got some rows that are sewn together. It's basically, I just did a block because this was a Facebook one, and it wasn't going up onto YouTube. So basically, I mean, it is up on YouTube, but it was unlisted. So you can see here, like I've got rows that are all sewn together. I've got others where the blocks are just done and I've got to put them together. It's a bit of a hot mess at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that this will end up being done within the next month or so, but I need to make a start on it. So that's why I've pulled it down. Obviously, I've got pattern pieces. I've got rows sewn together, and this is all in autumn colours, so what better time to work on it than in autumn. I've got bits and pieces for the sunflowers. One of my favourite ones, I don't know if I showed you or not. Oh, I don't even know where it is now. I just seen it. One of my favourite ones is the sunflower, and change of weather and my nose is running like a tap today. Hopefully I'm not getting sick. There's a couple of blocks that I still have to do for a couple of the rows. Like I might only have 1 or 2 of the blocks done. If the row's complete, it's sewn together. But there's lots of bits and pieces of fabric here that I'll need to sort out. Like this row needs to be sewn together. But this one here, I love this row. The sunflower one I just showed you, and this one. How beautiful does that look? Like those colours. Absolutely stunning. Like even still, this would make a wonderful table runner. And that, so they look like, they're just so pretty. So yeah, I absolutely love that one. So yeah, I've got a lot of work to do in this, but I am pretty confident that I'm going to get it done and get it all sorted, and then we'll have another quilt done. This one is not getting given away to anybody. I absolutely love autumn colours. That's why it's called Autumn Splendor. It's one of my favourite times of year. So I just, yeah, this one won't be going to anybody. This one will stay here. It sort of suits my decor as well in my lounge room, which I was thinking about changing up and then decided against it. But as far as I know, everything I need is here. I've got all the bits and pieces together. I've got stuff for borders. I've got stuff, extra fabric if I need it, and all that sort of stuff. And when I start working on it and it comes closer to it, I will actually talk about what the fabric line is called and all of that sort of stuff and get that all sorted. All right, now I'm going to end the video properly. Don't forget to, for the second time, I'm going to end it. So these containers are great. Like, they hold everything together. Like, that's got an entire quilt and all the fabric I need for it. Heavy as, but still perfect. I am making such a good dent at getting rid of stuff. I've only got... I think I've only got 2-3 things up there. One of it is binding for a quilt that needs to be quilted. The other one is the leftovers from the farmer's wife. So I've got to think about what I'm going to do with those blocks. I'm thinking I'm just going to make some cushions with those and then call that done. And yeah, so I am charging through it. I found a couple of other things while I was looking for stuff. I've still got the foundation paper piecing block of the month to do. I cannot find, I don't know what happened to them. They'll eventually turn up. That one will probably take a little bit longer because I know that I have some of it already put together and I've put it somewhere, and like it's so hard because I've got nothing in Savannah's room because we're doing the library and I've got stuff everywhere. So it's a lot of rummaging, but I went through everything on the weekend, last weekend, looking for that block that was missing from the first quilt that I've done. And I can't find them, so I don't know what the heck I've done with it. I'm just wondering whether I folded it up and maybe put it with a cross stitch, because that's the only thing I didn't go through. And it was around the same time that I was doing a whip parade, so it's probably there somewhere. It'll turn up, because it was too big to be thrown out. It would have looked like it was a quilt. So yeah, just when I get people out here helping me, they just see it as rubbish. Savannah's probably the only one that doesn't see it as rubbish, but the other people in the house, they see it as rubbish. So because that's just the way they are. I've given up trying to get them to see what I do as valuable. But anyway, that's a story for another day. I have finished for this week, and sorry it is late, but it took a little bit longer to be able to take photos and all that sort of stuff to wrap this video up. But I'd just like to say thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you being here. Don't forget to do all the things: subscribe, like, share with your friends, tell them to come on over for Finish It Friday QuiltTube. I'm hoping that I will have an update next week. It probably won't be a big update because I'll be just doing stuff in the background. I will endeavour to get things sorted and whatnot. But make sure that you pop in again next time, and I look forward to seeing you then. As always, keep crafting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.